We get caught in life trying to do one of two things. We tend to want to be content and peaceful with our life and just happy with the way things are. Then there's the other part of us that wants to grow, to expand, to experience. And we tend to think these two things are diametrically opposed, that we can't have one without the other. We feel like if we're content and peaceful with everything, then we won't bloody take any action and do anything, won't have any motivation. On the other side of that, we tend to think if we're constantly achieving, then we'll never stop to enjoy the moment and we're constantly rushing on to the next thing. So let me give you an analogy that will shift that perspective to understand that we can have both. So I want you to imagine that you have a child, a beautiful baby. If you don't have one already, then I want you to imagine that you do. And let's say that child is 2 years old, right? And I do this exercise with people. I ask them, your 2-year-old son or daughter, do you think that would you change anything about them? And they invariably say, no, I wouldn't change anything about them. It's like, right, so do you think anything's wrong with your child? And they say, no, nothing's wrong with my child. And I'm like, right, so your child's perfect. Yes, they're perfect the way they are. I completely unconditionally love them just the way they are. And I'm like, okay, well, if they're perfect and you don't want to change them, then how about if you had the option, we could freeze them at 2 years old and just keep them as 2-year-olds for the rest of your life? And they always say, no, well, I don't want to do that at all. Why don't you want to do that? Well, I want them to grow up. I want them to experience life. I want them to go to school. I want them to make friends. I want them to grow up and work and meet a partner. I want them to travel. I want them to experience life. It's like, okay, you love your child unconditionally and they are perfect and you would change nothing about them, yet you don't want them to stay the way they are. You still want them to grow. Now, can you want that for yourself? Can you understand that you are perfect? There's nothing that needs to be changed about you. There's nothing wrong with you. And from that position of being peaceful and contented of the way that you are, can we then go about life trying to experience life in all the wonders and all the ways that we can? And from that space, if we were peaceful and contented with ourselves, would our interactions, would our life then become full of energy? Would the interactions we had with other people be more full of joy? Just because we are peaceful and contented and zen doesn't mean that we can't experience amazing things in life. It doesn't mean that we can't achieve. It doesn't mean that we can't grow. Just like a little Bubba here, my little Bubba, who I love so much, we can grow even though we accept ourselves unconditionally just the way they are.